Hey friends, Ash here with Gents. Hope that you're doing well. Early in the morning today, and yeah, there's no light on behind me. I'm just gonna leave it like that. I don't care. No bright lights today. Very sad. In this video, I'm just gonna be talking to you guys about the new-ish Dior Homme Original 2021, how that's different from Dior Homme 2020, and what is even going on with Dior Homme. We're gonna tackle all that today. So let's jump into it. Now let's talk about a little bit of Dior. So in case you guys are unaware, haven't seen yet, Dior Homme Original 2021 has started popping up on a bunch of different fragrance websites. So that's why I decided to go ahead and do this video as I drink an enormous cup of coffee. I swallowed it into my lung. So yeah, Dior Homme Original 2021, what a name. It's popped up on Fragrantic, a bunch of other places. Now here's the deal with that. It's not actually really new for 2021. I covered it last year, so it's been out for a minute. It's just only been available in Europe, or at least I know it was announced last year for Europe. So let's do a really quick recap, I guess, of Dior Homme. That way, in case you're unaware, you can be filled in really quickly. Dior Homme first came out in 2005. So you can find online Dior Homme 2005. You can find that as an official release name on some websites. Then in 2011, they came out with a new version, but it was still really close to the previous version. So now you have Dior Homme 2005 and then Dior Homme 2011. And for most people, that 2011 version, that's just Dior Homme. When people say Dior Homme, like this bottle, that's what they're talking about. Dior Homme 2011. And that's the one that most people seem to be familiar with, at least as far as the whole iris heavy basis of the scent goes. Then we come to 2020 and we get Dior Homme 2020, which really has nothing to do with Dior Homme 2005 or 2011. Hopefully you're following along. It's kind of weird. So Dior Homme 2020, slightly new bottle design. It is not quite as thick as the old bottle. It's a little bit smoother around the edges, a little bit more rounded off. You can see an obvious dissimilarity between the caps. That is probably the worst word I could have used there. And then it says Dior Homme right there on the front of the cap, unlike the old bottle. So with this one, you get a really modern woodsy fragrance, and the iris is nowhere to be seen. Which, I'm gonna be honest here, I crapped all over Dior Homme 2020 for that reason. The iris not being there just really just didn't make me happy. Didn't make a lot of people happy. And everybody just kind of banded together and said, you know what, we reject this. At least initially when it first came out, because it's just a really ultra super versatile, very likable modern fragrance, and we don't have time for that. I need that iris. I got a fever, and the only prescription is more lipsticky iris. So yeah, Dior Homme 2020 came out, and a lot of people, myself included, hated on it. And I've talked about this before. I'll say it again. I was wrong. I love Dior Homme 2020 now. I think it's fantastic. You can wear this anywhere, anytime, any place. Doesn't matter. It's clean, but has a good amount of depth. It's very modern. Like I said, it's woodsy. This stuff slaps. You can wear this formally. You can wear it to the office, casually on a date. Like I said before, anywhere. And that's the big thing with a lot of fragrances, even ones as heralded as Dior Homme, if they're not really selling all that well at retail, then the parent company is going to look at that and be like, hey, this fragrance is a weakness. We got to figure something out. We got to replace this. We got to do something to get these sales up. Because at the end of the day, they're trying to make money. They're not a charity. I get it. That's why Dior Homme 2020 exists. If Dior Homme was selling like hotcakes and people couldn't get enough of that iris goodness, then they'd just be hammering these, these Dior Hommes, they'd be hammering them. Flanker after flanker after flanker is what you would see. But instead, you're getting Dior Sauvage, you're getting Dior Homme 2020. That's what sells. So anyway, that's Dior Homme 2020. Okay, now that leads us to Dior Homme Original 2021. We're back again with what I started the video talking about. Dior Homme Original 2021 originally was announced last year, but just for Europe. And best as I can ascertain, it's basically just supposed to be this in a bottle now that says original at the bottom. So it's basically Dior Homme 2011. You know, it's what it's always been. Again, I think the whole question mark with Dior Homme Original though was, is it gonna come out in the US? Because up until now, it's just been in Europe. And it really has been without much fanfare. You know, I talked about it briefly when it was announced, but past that, nobody really has seemed to care. Nobody's really seemed to talk about it. They didn't even bother to put it up on websites as a new fragrance release or anything like that. But now it's popping up again. And it does lead me to wonder, is Dior Homme Original now going to be released in the United States? Now, when you look up the note breakdown for the new Dior Homme Original, it looks like it could be one of those things where they're taking a fragrance and re-releasing it, but with a twist. That's what the note breakdown looks like, because it's only giving you 3 notes, giving you iris in the top, cardamom in the mid, and vetiver in the base. Now, that's obviously not a whole heck of a lot to go off of, and that kind of follows along with what a lot of fragrance houses are doing right now with that whole 3-note thing that I've harped on a million times. But sometimes what brands will do is when they first announce something, they'll hit you with 3 notes. They'll say, here's one in the top, one in the mid, one in the base. Now go F yourself. That's what the fragrance houses do. But when the fragrance actually comes out for sale, they'll drop some more notes on your head. So it's like they just give you a little bit at first, they give you a teaser, and then they give you more. But where this one has already been released in Europe, I'm guessing this is just it, those 3 notes. So with fans of Dior Homme, that looks like it's probably Dior Homme with a twist, because there's a lot missing. You don't have bergamot in there. You don't have cacao in there. You don't have leather in there. You don't have a lot of notes that people associate Dior Homme with in the official note breakdown of Dior Homme Original. But from what I've seen online from people that do own Dior Homme Original, people that have posted about it, made reviews about the fragrance, again, people in Europe that have been able to pick this up, they've said, nah, it smells pretty much exactly like Dior Homme 2011. And an interesting thing there, on some websites, you can look up Dior Homme, the 2011 release, and you'll see cardamom is not a note. But then, if memory serves correctly, back when that was still listed on Dior's website, when they still had Dior Homme up there, not Dior Homme 2020, but Dior Homme 2011, they did have cardamom listed as an official note. It's just sometimes with fragrance websites, stuff gets lost in translation somewhere and something falls out, and the note breakdown that they have listed on the website is not always 100% accurate. So at least sitting here today, having not actually smelled it, as best as I can tell, Dior Homme Original is in fact just how Dior Homme originally smelled circa 2011, before they replaced it with this and took Dior Homme and just put it down an entirely different path. So what new information do I have here today versus when I made the original video talking about Dior Homme Original, whenever that originally was? Not a lot, other than just Dior Homme Original smells like how Dior Homme smelled before Dior Homme 2020. And the one thing that I think possibly means that this is coming to the United States in the near future is that when I search for Dior Homme Original, and now does link to Dior's website, their English website for North America, and it has where there was a listing for Dior Homme Original. When you click it though, it just takes you to the Dior Homme page, which now has Dior Homme 2020, and Dior Homme Original isn't on there. So it's possible that they loaded that all up and fired it up and put it on the internet, and they realized, wait a sec, we're not ready for that yet, and they pulled it back off. But it's still showing right now in the Google search results. Now you can go to the Swiss version of Dior, and Dior Homme Original is on there. So if you're in Switzerland, you can go right there and check it out. But it looks like, at least from what I can tell on my phone and on my computer, that there was a listing for Dior Homme Original on the US website, on the North American website for Dior, and now it's gone. And it's rare, but I've seen stuff like that happen in the past with releases where they pop something on the website, then they realize, wait a sec, we don't need that on there yet, and they pull it back off, and then a little bit down the road, it pops back up again. So all this to say, Dior Homme Original could be coming very soon to the US. I don't know for sure. It's me being hopeful, but yeah, hopefully we see it soon. Because I will go ahead and pick it up and I'll contrast and compare to my older bottles of Dior Homme. Again, I've grown out of the days of trashing Dior Homme 2020 just because it's different than a fragrance that I loved, you know, that I grew up loving for years and years and years. I'm not gonna trash it for that anymore. It's its own thing, and I really enjoy it as its own thing. And I don't even mind Dior Homme going into new line if that means we get new Dior Homme fragrances, as opposed to Christian Dior just saying, you know what, Dior Homme doesn't work anymore. Just cancel the whole line. And I know some of you would rather that have happened and just cancel the whole line and then release Dior Homme under Dior Homme 2020 underneath something completely new. That way you kind of keep like the integrity of the iris laden Dior Homme line outside of Dior Homme Cologne that didn't really have a whole bunch of iris. But anyway, keep that all intact, but neither here nor there. At the end of the day, Dior Homme Original, hopefully we see it really soon. Wanted to fill you in on what that is if you were unaware, and let you know that it's starting to creep up on US websites when previously it hadn't. And also let you know that it's not actually really new. It's been out for a while, just not for us in North America. And possibly not every European country, but I know at least some have had it. All right, that's it for me. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Thanks for spending the morning with me while we just shoot the breeze about Dior Homme. I will see you guys later. Stay safe out there. I'm gonna go make some breakfast. Have a good day. Stay safe out there, guys. See you later.